Today we are taking a look at Invest-99L, currently in the Western Caribbean just south of Jamaica. This is quite an oddity to see at this time of year in mid-November. Most likely the NHC will soon upgrade the storm to a PTC, potential tropical cyclone, or even maybe a depression. If you look on satellite, you can see that it has a classic developing hurricane look as it swirls in the ocean, slowly moving westwards. Taking a look at the latest GFS model, it is showing the storm quickly turning into a hurricane before making landfall on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and quickly shooting eastwards into southern Florida. Of course, though, make sure to remember, this is still a very early model and will be subject to change as the storm progresses. Another thing to keep in note of is how the storm moved east due to an interaction with the front. That adds a variable the storm's track will be dependent on and could quickly change future forecasts. If the front is slower than expected, the storm will most likely be stronger and impact further north. But on the other hand, if the front speeds up, it will most likely shred the storm apart but push it more south. Taking a look at sea surface temperatures, we can see the reason why the storm is expected to intensify to an abnormal degree for its time. The area of the Caribbean it's in, the ocean temperatures are still piping hot at 30 Celsius, which is around 86 Fahrenheit. That is more than enough to sustain possible rapid intensification, although looking a little more north into the Gulf of Mexico, water temperatures are quickly dropping, with some parts in the north reaching as low as 25 Celsius, or 77 Fahrenheit for Americans. Due to these warm temperatures and also low wind shear, looking at the model intensity guidance chart, we can see some models are suggesting the storm could possibly reach as high as a Category 3, although I would highly suggest taking this graphic with a very large grain of salt. It is known to be notoriously inaccurate, especially this early on. Moving on to something that gives an actual picture, here's the current international ensemble models, most commonly known as spaghetti models, currently showing some clear consensus that the storm will make a grazing shot on Honduras before moving north and impacting the Yucatan Peninsula, and eventually making it to the Gulf of Mexico. If we take a look at the GFS ensembles, which show a longer range, we could see eventually may impact Florida, with quite a large range of area where it could make landfall. For anyone who is in Florida, I would most definitely be keeping an eye on the storm as it develops, especially with how places are still recovering after Milton and Helene. Finally, here is a look at the current IR satellite imagery for Invest-99L. As of now, the storm is looking quite healthy with large convection bursts popping up signaling intensification. The only issue is I could see is there's a big lack of organization with the storm, which can hinder its development. Although, knowing how these storms can be, especially in the region, they can become organized very suddenly in the blink of an eye. As mentioned earlier, for now, anyone in Florida, along with Central America, should be not preparing yet, or panicking yet, but they should be keeping a keen eye on the storm as it develops. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another tropical update. Goodbye.